Hi, wonderful you are watching this video today. So I'm really excited. And so before I start, thank you so much for if you have watched it, the last video, and I got a few handful comments. Um, you know who you are. That led to some amazing talks about the last video. If you haven't watched it, the last video which was about my childhood trauma, you can watch it right here. And in this video, I want to talk about the roller coaster life that wants me sometimes to quit. What I mean by that. So I'm a dialysis patient. That means I grew up as a healthy boy and lost my kidney with 1 year old. I had 3 kidney transplants between age 5 and age 11, but I will get into that in another story. So if you don't have kidneys, or even if you only, I think it's around 30%. So if you have 1 kidney and that 1 kidney still works for 30%, you don't have to go to dialysis. What does that mean? So the kidneys are responsible for so many things. It's unbelievable what this organ does. Firstly, it's responsible for constantly cleaning your blood. It's like when you eat something, you drink something, there are substances the body needs and there are substances the body doesn't need. So the kidney filters everything the body doesn't need. Maybe fluid, vitamins. There are so many blood values out there that you can measure if the kidney works or doesn't work. So this happened to me when I was 1 year old. It just stopped. And that means you have to go to dialysis treatment. The dialysis treatment is nothing else than a replacement of what the kidney does. But there's a big difference. While you, let's talk openly about that, while you urinate all day, 24/7 hours, maybe not every minute, but every 3 hours, and your kidney constantly eliminate toxic substances out of your body by the urination that you do. The dialysis treatment does the same, but only every second day. So either it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And you are on a machine for like 4.5 hours to constantly to basically eliminate the toxic substances, to take it out of the blood, doing those 4 hours. So what is the difference? When you have a kidney, you have a constant cleaning. When you're on dialysis, you don't have that. You have 1.5 hours on the weekend, you have 1.5 days on the weekend, 2.5 days, where all the toxic substances are stored in the body. And when you're on dialysis, like me, within those 4 hours, everything is cleaned out. And it's not a cleaning, it's not a regular cleaning as if you would have a kidney. It's kind of a shock to the body. You know, you store up all the toxic substances and then poof, it drops down even to a minus negative or even over positive blood value. Let me explain that. So let's say you have potassium. Potassium is an electrolyte which is important for the body, but if you have too much or you get too much to a certain point, it can be that you have a heart attack or something like that, because that's just how the body works. So let's say the range is of a potassium level is between 4.5, 4.3 to 4.9. And so the dialysis patient like me eats a lot of bananas. Bananas have a lot of potassium. And so I never eat bananas because I know they have a lot of potassium. There are other fruits and vegetables and other foods that are filled with a lot of potassium, but that's a story for another time or later. So the potassium goes up. Let's say if you eat 2 bananas over 1.5, 2.5 days, or even 3, 4, the potassium goes maybe up to 6.5 to 7. That's not included all the other food that you eat that also have potassium. So the potassium goes up to 7, you go on dialysis, and it drops down to 3, even 2.5 sometimes. And that's a huge shock within 4 hours. What your kidney does 24/7, every now and then, in my body it happens within 4 hours. So back to the topic. I'm gonna share a little bit more about the medical stuff in another video as well, about my story, what happens with the kidneys. I had pre-transplant already. I'm gonna include that in another video. But for now, I wanna tell you in this video about the roller coasters that want me to sometimes quit. You can imagine the body is not only a matter of potassium and other blood value. For a dialysis patient, probably the most 5 common blood values are potassium, phosphate, fluid, which is like natrium, chloride, and all that stuff, and it's urea and creatinine. That are probably the most important blood values that are measured for a dialysis patient to look how things are. So, but all those 5 blood values, they have maybe connected, I don't know, 5 to 10 other blood values. For example, the phosphate has anything, milk products, nuts. In today's food, a lot of industrial products have a lot of phosphate, and phosphate is even given to the food chemically to make the flavor better. Bad thing, but that's another video to do. So the phosphate is also connected to the calcium, to the parathormones, to the vitamin D levels, and I think that is maybe 1, 2 more. So maybe at this point you can imagine a little bit what happened with a body when your kidney is not working anymore and you have to go to dialysis. It's a complete shock from 1 hour to the next 4 hours. So everything is dropped, everything is changed, and this of course is connected to the vitamins, to your hormone balance, testosterone and all that stuff. And so what happens with my body is like, I have a total change, and probably the easiest example I can give you is, I have a lot of confidence, for example, before dialysis. After dialysis, I don't want to go out. I hate to go into group. I don't hate it, but I don't like it to talk with people. Because firstly, I'm tired. Secondly, my body changed, my hormone changed, my mental state changed, and all these change. And so my life is a constant roller coaster. If you are on dialysis, it's a constant roller coaster. And this is so crappy to deal with, because you don't have a stable life. It affects your sleep, it affects your mental state, it affects your psychological, physical state. So for example, on Monday it's so much different than on Tuesday. Even Tuesday is the worst, because the problem is on Monday the dialysis is even harder, because I have Saturday and Sunday off, which means the blood values are even higher than usual, and it drops even more or less. And so what happened is, I have for years now, I know by now that also the climate had a little bit impact of it. So for example, if I'm in Switzerland, I have issues with sleeping, falling asleep, especially Tuesday and Thursday, because it feels like a jet lag. It's funny, but it's true, because my body is cleaned and washed out. Monday evening, I'm so tired. I have no goal to do or want to do anything. I'm so tired. I'm not motivated to do anything. So I'm just, sometimes I do something, sometimes I'm flat out. I'm tired. I ruminating in my mind. I do Facebook scrolling or YouTube scrolling, whatever it is, which doesn't help even at all for the mental state. It's, whether you believe it or not, it's just what it is. It has a lot of psychological effect. So I go to sleep. I wake up so much tired on Tuesday. And then the funny thing, on Tuesday midday or afternoon, I feel like again in the rhythm of my body, which should happen on Tuesday morning. So it feels like a jet lag. And then of course Tuesday evening comes, I'm tired anyway, my body's tired, but my mind is fully awake. And so there's no sleep up to 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning. And so it's a hard time to get up at 7 or 8 again. And so the whole cycle changes. So I'm tired on Wednesday and all that stuff. And so this is the roller coaster, what happens in my life. It's what it is. That's not an actual solution, except to minimize the potassium, phosphate, and other food that are unhealthy for me, to straighten a little bit the roller coaster. I know it sounds funny, but try to straighten a roller coaster. It's impossible. And so, yeah, it's what it is. And the most frustrating thing about the diet of a dialysis patient is, actually, I would love to eat healthy, but the problem is the healthiest food on this planet, fruit, vegetable, nuts, they have too much potassium and phosphate. It's what it is. And so It's the three categories. Not all fruits and vegetables have a lot of potassium. But for example, a lot of stuff that has omega-3, which will actually be really good for the body, has a lot of potassium. And I love those food. I love salmon, I love fruit, I love vegetable, I love nuts, because many years I tried to change a little bit the diet to get away from the chemical foods. And so it's frustrating. And even more frustrating is like when you look into this world and you see people, both kidneys working, and they eat all the crap they can that's out there. No judgment here. It's just frustrating because, you know, the whole world is sometimes like that. The people that want something cannot have it, but the ones that could, they don't want it. It's just that simple. It happens. It's okay. It's how the world works. No judgment here. But anyway, so I hope I have given you a little bit of an insight of what my life looks like. So why I want to quit sometimes, it's simple. It pressures so much on the mental state, and you get depressed, you get negative, and it's not because you make bad decisions. It's just because substances are missing in my body. And of course, decisions have a lot of impact. I still am able to make proper positive decision within a bad day, but it's even so much harder when you have something missing up here. It's difficult. It's frustrating. I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to quit my life. Because of that, I had another event early in the day that were much harder, where I was really burned out, depressed. I had suicidal thoughts, really wanted to leave them out. But this here is a constant battle. And I'm not saying I'm giving up, because I can't. End of the day, I can't, because I'm a strong-willed person. I'm blessed by parents that were strong-willed. I have it in my genetic nature. I'm not able to give up. Sometimes I do, because I realize I just can't anymore. But not with part of life. There are other things that I realize, okay, it doesn't really help, so I'm giving up. That's another story to tell. But the roller coaster that wants me to quit sometimes on life is just because stuff are missing up here. Substances that are filtered out on the dialysis that have a long time to come back in my body. And so this is what it is. And so for today, I hope you have gotten a little bit insight into the part of life that has a real impact if you don't have kidneys. So please do yourself a favor and be grateful for your kidneys. Gratefulness means also take care of it. Don't eat all the crap of food out there. Research a little bit how you can take care more of your kidneys, of your body. It doesn't have to be much, really. It only needs a little change per day. Eat one fruit more per day. Try out fruit. I know if you're a person, you don't like fruit and vegetable, it's difficult, then eat nuts. Yeah, I mean, make your life nutty. And so just an inspiration for you. You don't have to do it. It's up to you what you do with your life. But you know, there's so many people on dialysis, no judgment here, that have not really not taken care of their lives. During their life, they ate everything they wanted, and you don't want to end up on dialysis. Believe me. It doesn't sound like you just have to go 2-3 times a week on dialysis. It's not just like that. Your whole life changes. Your whole mental state changes. You probably, when you have longer time for decade dialysis, you get into depression. You almost cannot get around that, and that's not fun. But still, I'm there, I'm alive, and I'm continue to inspire you. It's a limitation, but not a limitation. It's a hurdle that I'm struggling all the time, and I'm still there. I'm gonna to be here for you. I don't know, whenever God calls me home, I will be gone, but as far as I can, I will be here and inspire you, and hope you like this video. Hey, if you like this video, put the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment what is your health challenge, comment below. Tell me about your health challenge. I know there are many other chronic illnesses or daily hurdles with illnesses that I don't even know about. Medically, I know I would say a lot, but it's always inspiring to hear other stories. So tell me what you're struggling in your life with your health, and also tell me what food you have the challenge to stop, that you know exactly that you should stop. And also tell me in the comments what you're grateful for. For now, this is all for this video. I love to see you watch it, and I love to see you back next week. Have a wonderful time, and see you next time. Bye bye.